What do ninjas really want? What? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be going through the formalities of introducing myself or my channel. I just want to know, what exactly do these ninjas really want? White people do nothing, they complain. White people now does something, they still complain. These guys are unpleasable. At this point, I have to say that I am in fact very pissed off at the white saviors. Yeah, and I mean those white people who always go out of their way to try to make these horrible kinds of black people feel good about their little narcissistic self. These bootlicking Mr. and Mrs. Do-Good white people who always have to explain to these horrible black folks that they are not racist and that they don't see color. I am mad at you guys for trying too hard to be liked by a set of people who are determined to hate you forever, no matter what you do or do not do. White people, it is enough, okay? The simping is too much. Stop that bootlicking nonsense. Now, I'm not referring to every white person. I'm directly referring to those progressives who are plagued with white guilt and therefore are ready to do just anything to prove that they are not racist. Now, listen to what this black queen has to say to you.
It is a particular kind of white person that lives in the suburbs. And in the northern Virginia suburbs, right? It is the type that want to be progressive, but are still to their core so racist. And I'd rather at this point just put on your Klan's hat, get it from your granddaddy, blow the dust off of it, and put on the hat, baby. Put on the hood, because you still have the same core set of values, okay? It just looks a little different, and in your mind it's more palatable. But that thing is deep-seated, deep-rooted white supremacy. So I'm at my favorite little breakfast spot, girl. I love a Tate run. So I'm down at Tate, and as soon as I walked in, you know how stuff just feel different? Oh, we're the only black people in here. Now, Tate is not, I don't know, the Ritz-Carlton. It's owned by Panera. It's just a cute little breakfast cafe. So we in there, and I don't know why we're the only black people in there today, but that's just how it was, okay? Bring this up for purpose, put it in your back pocket. So already, I'm just on high alert because you have to be in conditions where you may be unsafe. It is Trump's America, bitch.
I think I know how this is going to end. I think I know. Now, as soon as she entered into that restaurant, she became the problem because she came into that place not in good faith, okay? But with a preconceived notion of racism. She's looking for trouble. She is poised, lying in wait for the slightest reason to cry wolf. So when she says she's on high alert, what she actually means is that she's looking for any flimsy reason to accuse someone of being racist. She's looking for racism where there isn't any, and if she doesn't find it, she would fabricate it. Because as we move on, you will witness how unbelievable her story is. But let me ask you a question though. How many non-black people would walk into a place and immediately start calculating the number of people from their race present in that vicinity? How many? Now, if you fall into this category, I want to say to you that you are not part of the problem. Rather, you are the problem. But let's hear what she has to say.
So, I'm in the line, and everybody's just trying it. No personal space is occurring. The kids are unruly. People stepping on my feet. No one's saying, excuse me. I'm already, because there's a different type of like understanding of personal space and politeness that is cultural. So it was savage in there. I'm just trying to get a latte and a bagel.
What a bunch of lies. Lies from the pit of hell. But I'll still give her the benefit of doubt anyway. Now, she says people were stepping on her feet. They were unruly. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. Now, if you believe that a black liberal woman would keep quiet, would not wreak havoc on a restaurant if a group of white customers were to repeatedly step on her feet, go to the comment section and type truth, okay? Type truth. Now, if you're just like me and you think it is impossible for a liberal black woman, a lying racist one at that, to remain calm and not throw a tantrum and not black fatigue the entire restaurant if a white person makes the costly mistake of stepping on her liberal black feet, kindly go to the comment section and type lies, lies, lies. Yes, more. Let's continue.
Go through the line, sit down. It's a white lady with a daughter and a grandkid. Okay, the little boy look like Dennis Menace. So he's also just unruly, very poorly behaved. And I just feel myself feeling away. And I said, let me just bring it down. It's Sunday. You know, God loves it when we have a cheerful spirit. I said, let me just bring my energy down because maybe it's me. Do you see how we do? Maybe it's me. So girl, the lady is just having the most inane conversation. She's insufferable. It is sending me. But again, maybe it's me. So I look at her and she has a Loewe puzzle bag. I say, I like your bag. This is the mother, the older one. I said, I like your bag.
You see, one thing I hate is liars, okay? But one thing I hate more than liars is a liar who is bad at lying. A liar who can't even craft a believable, convincing lie. This woman goes into this restaurant with all the negative energy, okay? Poised for offense. Then while other people step on her feet, a liberal black woman, white people stepping on her feet, and she didn't do anything. Anyway, according to her, she's seething, okay? She feels disrespected. No one is giving her the personal space. And then out of the blue, she decides to compliment a white woman's bag. Mind you, she said this white woman's grandson is the replica of Dennis the Bleeping Menace, okay? So that shows you that she doesn't even like them at all. She doesn't like the white woman, nor the grandson, nor the daughter. She doesn't like this white woman, okay? But then she went ahead to make small talk with her, complimenting her bag. Now, that is a very big fat lie. And if you believe this story, then you better believe that Jussie Smollett was attacked by some white guys because he's black.
I said, I like your bag. She says to me, oh, do you work there? I said, why would you assume that I work there? She said, just because you know what it is. Because you know what it is.
Just because you know what it is. What a poorly written lie. What a what a poorly written lie. Remember, this black woman didn't say, I like your so-and-so bag, okay? She just said,
I said, I like your bag.
I like your bag. I like your bag. Now, how would the white woman ask her if she works there when she never mentioned the brand of the bag she likes? She just said, I like your bag, not I like your Chanel bag or I like your Loewe puzzle bag, whatever. If she said, oh, I like your Loewe puzzle bag, then I might understand that the white woman went on to ask her if she works at Loewe. But she just said, I like your bag. And then automatically the white woman was, oh, do you work there? Do you work where? Where? She never mentioned any brand name. So what are you asking her? And also, who would respond to a compliment of I like your bag with do you work there? Instead of saying thanks or thank you. This one is just cooking up a fake story just to farm outrage. How pathetic.
I said, I don't have to work there to love fashion. That's not how that works. She said, oh, okay, yeah. I said, I was just gonna ask you if you've seen the new collection, that's all. Well, tell me about it. She's trying to make up for it because she knows that the racism has been clocked. Now, let me just pause and say this, okay? I worked in luxury retail, so this is not whatsoever a slight, but what people don't know is that that's actually a very competitive profession to get into. And they have no idea how elite it is and how much money it is to be made. So her asking me if I work there was the equivalent of walking in the grocery store. And when white folks look for something, they look at you. You not wearing a uniform, bitch. You don't have a name tag on. And they say, do you know where the dish soap is? Bitch, what makes you think I work it? What made you think, by way of a compliment, that I worked at the store? What made you? Now, if your brain wasn't ravaged with implicit bias and white supremacy, what you should have said was, oh, do you have one? Because I do. I have two. And I have the ones that are the original ones by J.W. Anderson. So you got the new shit that nobody who know about the bad don't even really, we don't even f that one. You got the new one, right? Like I got the OG because I know about it, because I've studied it. She tries to make up. I'm seething at this point. Nothing else to give you. Nothing. I would rather watch paint dry. I would rather pluck each one of my eyelashes out and replace them with individual pieces of glitter than to continue talking to you right now, ho. So I'm just... But the fragility tells her she got to keep it going, right? Because I'm not racist. I'm not racist. She starts with my fiance. And then that was the moment that she looked down, and guess what she saw? So no, I don't work at the way back. Find you something safe to do, ho.
So all this made up story, all this BS report was just a way to get us to see that you own a Hermes bag? My God, these people are insufferable, okay? No wonder some of us spend our last dollar on designer frivolities, but we can't even spare a few coins to improve our community. We can't even plant trees that make our neighborhood look good. We can't even maintain the greenery in front of our homes. We cannot even spare a few coins to change the battery in our smoke detector. My God, that ceiling bed calling every now and then have become part of the culture. Because we are more concerned with flaunting our wealth by purchasing numerous designer products, stuffing our necks with chains, and disfiguring our teeth with multiple jewelry. Pathetic. Now, like always, the demand for racism is far greater than the supply, okay? Now, that is why people like this black woman, when they don't find the racism they are so searching for, they are so looking for, they fabricate it, they create it, they cook up a racist story because the hate must go on. It must be kept alive. The saddest reality is that this small percentage of ninjas will now spread the lie that they are victims of racism, even when it is not true. And then all their acquaintances will believe them. Even people on the internet will believe their fake story, and the hate festers and multiplies. This is how these ninjas keep racism alive. Racism should have been dead and buried by now, but horrible black people like this woman have kept it on life support, and they revive it each time it serves their purpose. Now, this still boils down to the same black fatigue that we are talking about. This is why people are so fed up and tired. And don't get me wrong, okay? There are actually white people who are racist. They exist, even though they are few and far between. Just like you also have black people who are racist, Asians who are racist, Hispanics who are racist, etc. Racism exists in every ethnicity, okay? And it deserves to be called out and criticized each time it is perpetuated. But people like this black woman have totally distorted the meaning of racism. They have cried wolf on so many fake occasions when they scream racism, even when there is no racism involved. Now, people no longer bat an eye when a black person is complaining of being raced against, is complaining of racism, because people like her have totally destroyed the real meaning of that word. They have made everything racist, okay? All you have to do just to be racist is just exist as a white person. That's all you need, okay? And you would be accused of racism for literally existing, or even just sneezing, drinking water, saying good morning. For as long as you are white, you would be accused of racism. Racism has now been overused. It doesn't carry any weight any longer. And this woman and her cohorts are the cause of it. I also blame the white saviors, okay? People who feel guilty for being white, who feel like their existence is a slap in the face of black folks. Therefore, they succumb to validating every unreasonable claims from these black ninjas. They proclaim that their race, the white race, is evil, and they agree to all the nonsense these horrible blacks say about them. And then they worship these black folks lick their boots, and even agree that everyone from their race is inherently bad, evil, and racist. Now, this emboldens these ninjas to come out every day and stir the pot and create more division. So yeah, shame on you spineless white saviors, okay, for being such fearful cowards that you co-sign these people's narratives and then pander to their unreasonable whims. Let me warn you though, no matter what you do, no matter how much you embarrass and disrespect yourself, no matter how much you dehumanize yourselves, these guys will still see you as a racist Triple K member, and knowing how delusional these ninjas are, that will never change. It will never change. You're always going to be bad in their eyes. Anyway, guys, these are my thoughts, these are my opinions, but feel free to share yours in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Also, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or buy me a coffee if you like, as a way of supporting the channel. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For now, peace.